Welcome to Rebecca's English Book Club and more. Now today we're going to meet a very special little creature, a slug. Now a slug is like a snail but without the shell. And slugs, like snails, live in gardens, in forests, in the streets, and when it rains you can see them everywhere. Now sometimes my naughty chickens like to eat slugs, and so do hedgehogs. But this slug was a lucky slug. He didn't get eaten and he had many adventures. So we're going to read about Norman the slug. This is Norman here. And this is a magical special shell that he made himself with a sparkly pink donut. So let's read about the adventures of Norman. Norman, the Slug with the Silly Shell by Sue Hendra. Norman the Slug thought snails were great. "Wow!" said Norman. "Look at them! They're amazing!" But, unfortunately, the snails didn't think Norman was great. "Whee! Crash! Norman, you silly slug!" they cried. "You've spoilt our fun. This only works if you've got a shell." Norman felt left out. Sadly, he skulked off into the moonlight. "If only I had a shell of my own," he sighed, looking at his reflection. And that's when he had an idea. "Maybe I could have a shell after all," he thought. But finding a shell was not as easy as it seemed. One was too bouncy, one was too noisy, and one was already taken. Norman needed time to think. Ta-da! A shell! It was perfect. Norman had never been happier. He could join the snails at last. Norman loved being a snail, and the snails loved Norman's silly shell. But the fun didn't last for long. Suddenly, there was a loud flapping of wings. "Look out, birds!" cried the snails in panic. "Quick, slither for your lives or we'll end up at supper!" But the bird was more interested in Norman's silly shell. It looked delicious. Norman was being carried up, and away, higher and higher into the sky. What could he do? Norman did the only thing a slug could do. He made slime, and lots of it. With a slither and a slother and a slip and a slide, Norman was free. But he was falling faster and faster and faster until plunk! Norman, are you okay?" asked the snails. "Wow!" said Norman. "That was great! I love flying. If only I had wings." Ta-da! Look at Norman the slug. He's made wings from a pair of pants. I'm not sure how long that invention is going to last. But He's having fun anyway. Goodbye, Norman. So I hope you enjoyed that book about Norman and his adventures and making a shell. That was really fun. If you'd like to listen and watch more, then please like and subscribe my videos. Thank you. Goodbye.